Something felt off the moment the cameras turned on. Not in a bad way, but in that electric, spine-tingling way when you know something unpredictable is about to unfold. You could sense it in the air, that quiet tension right before someone makes a confession they didn't plan to say. And the very first crack came from a single, innocent sentence. J-Hope smiled and casually said, "I ate the watermelon well." Just a friendly greeting. Or so everyone thought. Jin instantly brightened, like someone who secretly left a gift and was finally caught. "You enjoyed it?" he asked, smiling proudly. "It was really delicious," J-Hope answered. But then, from the side, there was a shift, a sudden stillness. A pair of eyes widening like a disappointed puppy. It was Jungkook. "Hung, why didn't you give it to me?" And the room changed in an instant. Jin froze. The members turned. Even the crew tried not to laugh. Jin tried to escape. "You weren't going to eat it anyway." But then came the chorus from the others. "What about me? What about me?" Each voice sharper, louder, more dramatic, like they were auditioning for a drama scene. Jin panicked. His eyes darted left, right, anywhere but at the members. "You're not going to eat it either." It was chaos disguised as comedy, and somehow it revealed everything about Jin. The quiet caretaker, the giver who doesn't always want people to notice. The hung who buys fruit for everyone but never expects anything in return. But this was only the warm-up. "Run BTS," the members shouted together. One loud, nostalgic echo after such a long break. That energy, the kind that makes viewers' hearts ache because it feels like coming home. The crew announced the theme. "Today, we're testing how well you know each other." Jin didn't even blink. "We know everything," he declared, full confidence. "There's nothing we don't know." The others paused. Some smirked. Jungkook straightened like he was preparing for war. Then came the first challenge. 일심동체, the game where everyone must think the same way. A warm-up question. An adverb meaning suddenly with surprise. "화들짝!" Perfect harmony. A moment of glory. But then, the English challenge, army. Each member had to write one letter to complete the word. And Jin, ever dramatic, ever confident, thought, "This is too easy." He knew the answer. Forever. All he needed was the letter R, so he wrote it boldly, proudly, holding it up like he was presenting a masterpiece. He even waited with this satisfied little smile. Until the crew burst into laughter. The kind of laughter that immediately makes your stomach drop. Jin blinked once, twice. "Hey, did someone spell it wrong?" And suddenly, the room turned into a crime scene. Jin, detective mode activated, looked around as if someone had betrayed the entire fandom with a single mismatched letter, but nothing would prepare him for the next disaster. The physical challenge. Act out the same scenario at the same time. Simple? Not for BTS. One member pretended to drop a phone onto their face. Another acted like they drank lava-hot coffee. Someone else reenacted a PC room blackout meltdown. None matched. Not even close. They failed every round. But then a miracle. Prompt. You made a mistake in the choreography and accidentally made eye contact with J-Hope. All at once, as if their instincts were knit together after years of practicing in tiny studios and massive arenas, they all made the exact same face. They widened their philtrums. Same expression, same timing, same emotion. Success. Not because of the challenge, but because only people who deeply know each other could react that without any plan. It was funny. And somehow, strangely beautiful. But behind all the laughter, all the teasing, all the silly moments, the second story reveals the truth that fans rarely get to see. June 28-29th, Goyang Sports Complex, Jin's solo fan concert, where everything looked bright, loud, confident on stage, but behind the scenes, his voice was quiet, almost trembling. Performing without the members? I couldn't even imagine it. I was really nervous. You can feel the weight of that sentence. This wasn't just a stage. It was Jin's first time stepping into the spotlight alone, without the seven shadows always behind him, without the usual warmth of shared laughter in the waiting room, without six voices to lean on. He warmed up, he stretched, he ran through last-minute checks. There was even a 90-second costume change challenge, practically a sprint backstage. And yet, through all the chaos, Jin whispered something that revealed everything. "I think I'm continuing to do this to get cheers." Not fame, not numbers, not pressure. Cheers. The sound of people who love him, people who stayed, people who waited. The film, Run BTS It Tour the Movie, captures all of it. The nerves, the silence before the lights go up, the jokes he makes to hide the shaking in his voice, the way he glances at the crowd like he's trying to memorize every face. It shows the Jin who laughs during Run BTS, and the Jin who stands alone, singing not because he has to, but because the cheers give him courage. One moment he's arguing about watermelon, and the next, he's carrying a stadium by himself. Something unexpected happened indeed. A reminder that Jin isn't just part of something legendary, he is legendary. And sometimes, the quietest moments reveal the biggest truths.